Hello and welcome to Love Revolution. I'm your host, Mia Sines. In this episode, you get to meet this beautiful, feminine awakening woman who is just so full of grace and glory and beauty. I adore Jonita. So you're going to get to meet Jonita Dsouza, and you're not going to hear so much about her story of where she came from, but you get to learn from her about the feminine graces. But she blows me away because she's just so right on in her feminine glory. When I first saw an image of her, I knew I had to have her as a teacher. I knew she was a coach, but I knew I had to have her as a teacher. And she first appeared with us last season. So enjoy her. She's from a small island in the Indian Ocean. She lives in London today. She's incredibly sophisticated and just lovely as can be. So please enjoy Jonita.
Thank you, Mia. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of the Love Revolution series once again. And for those of you watching, welcome. My name is Jonita Dsouza. As you've heard already, I'm your feminine lifestyle expert, and today I will be talking to you about the secrets to embody feminine grace under pressure. And I could not have thought of a better location to shoot this workshop for you than just being outdoors in the nature among flowers, because I feel that flower is the greatest example of feminine grace that really exists, and it really opens up the hearts of every single person who comes in their presence. So welcome once again. Today in this workshop I will share with you what feminine grace is and what it is not, more importantly, and what is one common thing that flips us out of our feminine grace. I will also share with you how you can change your perspective towards pressure, and towards the end I will also share with you one exercise that you can start using to embody your feminine grace during pressure. So to begin with, what is this feminine grace all about? I've had several women coming and talking to me saying that they found me very graceful, and at times I took that as compliment, and at times I felt that it could have been my weak point. I have been an empath, an introvert, and a very patient person for several years, and I kept thinking that these attributes perhaps did not serve me. I somehow thought that in this loud world I had to be loud enough as well to spread my message out in the world, and I did not know that these attributes that I had, and especially the unacceptance of these attributes that I had, will actually lead me to learn all about the divine feminine, the femininity, feminine essence, or feminine energy, whatever you choose to call. And I learned that grace was actually one of my biggest strengths, because of which people around me felt comfortable, they felt heard, and most importantly, they felt accepted the way they are. Grace is an important quality of the feminine nature, which in today's society is somehow considered to be weak. You know, we women of the 21st centuries have become very well trained in being multitasking machines, confident achievers, super professional, but we have forgotten to weave our gracefulness into all of these, just because we sometimes fear that we may be considered as weak. But the truth is that grace is this important, powerful virtue that we women are called to embody in this moment of crisis that's happening in this world right now. Because grace is an aspect of love which cannot be truly achieved unless and until your mind and your body prepares for complete acceptance. Yes, complete acceptance of yourself and others in this world of seeming hate and fear. And this journey of embodying this feminine grace starts for every woman by going within. So you might be wondering, how does a woman embodying feminine grace looks like in that case? A woman who embodies feminine grace is comfortable with herself. She enjoys her individuality and does not feel the need for competition. Her sexuality flows freely and effortlessly. She does things with confidence, not from a show-off point of view, but from a place of self-trust. And other men and women respect her for that. Her beauty glows from within. She is beautiful not because she's a fashion queen, but because she knows who she is and she likes and accepts her that way. Let's take a common example. In the corporate world, we women always feel the pressure to compete with men and try to be equal. And obviously the grace is usually out of the window. But this is actually impossible. Yes, women trying to compete with men is actually impossible. It's just like apple and orange can never be the same. Although they are fruits, they can never be the same because they have their own taste, their own essence, their own aroma. Instead, what a woman can try to do is to embody her feminine grace, which is why it is important to own ourselves as women and become confident in our knowledge and expertise, embodying the principles of our womanhood, feeling intuitive and self-trust in our interactions with others. Hence, the competition goes out of the window and you can begin to embody your feminine grace. And believe me or not, that kind of woman is respected by her peers, male or female. She doesn't have to be loud in the office. She just have to be confident in her self-trust and her intuitive ability to make decisions and express herself. And I'm telling you all of this from my personal experience. As I said earlier, I had always been an introvert, so shouting out loud was not my style. However, I was always respected by my peers and colleagues because they felt something from me. For me personally, grace is an effortless combination of our inner and our outer beauty. Grace isn't simply about a woman's appearance and how she carries herself. It is as well, but it's just not that. It is about how she relates to life and to people around her. Gracefulness grows from within. It grows out of love and gratitude. And a graceful woman is not loud or overbearing. Instead, she makes people around her feel comfortable and blessed. So now think for a minute, do you really think that grace, feminine grace or gracefulness is a quality of the weak? No way. It takes courage to be fully in the state of acceptance, self-trust and gratitude. And this also breaks the myth that loud women are strong and graceful women are weak. By the way, women embodying feminine grace do not have any problems attracting high-quality men and relationships in their lives too. So hopefully this gives you an idea about what feminine grace is and what feminine grace is not. Now let's talk about one common thing that causes us to flip out of our feminine grace. In my work with women, this is the one thing that comes up again and again, especially when we are working around our shadow feelings. I'm talking about criticism. When someone criticizes us, our grace goes out of the window. And I'm talking from a personal experience. I've been there several times. What I have learned is that in moments like this, instead of responding right away, which I know is very tempting, but instead of responding right away, the graceful way to react is to ask yourself if there is any validity in this criticism. Is the person trying to help or to make things better or to help you avoid mistakes or to suggest some positive improvements? Or is the person in a cranky, rude mood having a bad day? Is the person just mean or jealous, or is there any real good reason behind this criticism? And this is why it is important for us to be in tune with our feminine wisdom, or at least know how to tune into our intuitive feminine wisdom. And in a few minutes, I'm going to show you the exercise by which you can start applying and implying that. And also that exercise will allow you to embody the feminine grace under pressure and moments of criticism too. But before that, let me tell you a good news about pressure that will change your perspective around pressure the next time you face it, should you choose to. And the good news is that if you look at pressure from a broader perspective, you will notice that pressure actually helps us to build or birth new life, literally, yes. It is pressure that expels the baby from the birth canal to journey into this world. It is pressure that helps the baby to breathe. And it is pressure that helps you to breathe. So next time, if you're feeling pressured, then tune into your feminine wisdom and ask yourself, what is your body preparing you for? Is it an act of courage or survival, or to give birth to a new idea for your business, for your personal life? Or is it just asking you to slow down and breathe? So yes, changing your perspective to pressure and really accepting pressure as this momentum to create something new will really ease that pressure from you. Now, enough of me talking. I share with you one of my favorite exercises that helps me to tune into my feminine wisdom every single day. And I have learned it from one of my sensuality teachers here in Glastonbury, UK, and till this day I use this exercise not only in the mornings but anytime I feel stressed, pressurized, or just when I just want to feel my feminine and sensual self. And the beauty of this exercise is that it is simple and it works. I call it rocking your womb. It is this exercise that helps us to shut down our mind's chatter and tune into our body, allowing us to drop into that deep place of knowing in our body. Our feminine energy is all about flow and movement, and this process and exercise of rocking the move integrates all of it. We use our breath, subtle sound and movement in the pelvic floor to allow our sensual and feminine energy to flow in our body. And during moments of stress and pressure, this particular exercise allows you to come back to home, to your body, to your knowing, to your feminine energy, to your power as a woman. You can practice this exercise for 5 minutes every day to get used to it. What I suggest is to focus on an intention and practice this exercise so you can amplify your magnetism towards that desire or towards that intention. So here it goes. I'll have to move a little bit to show you that. So the best way to do it is either standing or kneeling. I'm going to be kneeling down and showing you this exercise. So you begin with placing your hand on your womb and on your pelvic floor, which is literally 3 to 4 inches below your navel. This part of your body is called the womb, and womb is considered to be the feminine powerhouse of a woman's body. This is where your sacral chakra lies. This is where your sensuality, your creativity, your passion, your desires, your intuition, it all resides in this energetic place in your body. And you literally do not have to have a womb to be able to do this exercise, but we are tapping into this energetic center of your body. So we begin by taking deep breaths down into our belly, and as down as possible, try to reach the deep breath into your pelvic floor. So let's take a deep breath in and allow it to drop down to your belly, and you will feel your belly expanding in this way. And allow your breath to keep dropping down until you feel something in your pelvic floor. Hold on for a second or two and then breathe out. As you breathe out, you will feel your belly contracting. So the movement goes this way. You breathe in, feeling your belly expanding and feeling the energy in your pelvic floor, and then you breathe out, feeling your belly contracting. And you repeat this few times before you get the sync of your belly expanding with your breath in and your belly contracting with your breath out. I usually recommend to also make a subtle sound as you breathe in and out, because here we're trying to engage all of our senses. So as you breathe in, just make your breath be heard to you, like so this type of breathing in and out releases oxytocin hormone, which is also known as the happy hormone, and it helps you dissolve your stress and pressure. So once you have found the sync of breathing in and out, expanding and contracting your belly, we will now indulge in pelvic floor movement. So as you breathe out, move your pelvic floor bone towards the front, and as you breathe in, move your pelvic floor bone towards the back. So you gently rock your pelvic floor front and back and carry on this breathing. So let me show you sideways so you get an idea. So as you're breathing in, your pelvic floor goes to the front. As you're breathing out, your pelvic floor rocks back. So this is the subtle movement. I'm just amplifying it for your reference, but this is the basic movement that you would do in a gentle way as you're breathing in and out. Let's do it once again together. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. So that's the exercise. Oh my god, I have pigeons surrounding me watching the show. So this is the basic exercise. If you really practice it with the subtle movement of your breath and your pelvic floor, you will feel your sexual, sensual, feminine energy rising up in your body, and in this moment you are home in your own body, feeling whole and complete and in full acceptance of yourself in your feminine grace. And when you constantly practice this exercise, you will notice the difference. You will see this intuitive wisdom that is actually guiding you to make your decisions in your everyday life. And most importantly, you will be tuned into your feminine grace at all times. I do this exercise all the time, especially in my moments of crisis, to bring me back to my feminine grace. I believe that it is time for us to start tuning in and accepting our feminine power, a power that comes from us accepting and truly loving ourselves, being a woman, and feminine grace resides in there. I personally think that all the qualities of the feminine are interlinked and weaved together, one leading to the other, and which is why I'm here to gift you my 13 days free video course to start exploring your feminine energy, your femininity. Besides that, you will also receive feminine mantras every single week for the next 52 weeks, along with the embodiment message for you to continue to use those techniques and tools as you go by along your busy lifestyle every single week of this year and thrive in your feminine. To end with, I want to share a quote from A Course in Miracles. By grace I live, by grace I am released. Namaste.
I just love our teachers. They are so amazing with their information and their heart and their love. They're really brilliant. So I'm really glad that you joined us. And if you do have any questions, please feel free to write your teachers or myself at the information following each episode. And also, if you haven't joined Rainbow Heart Classroom on Facebook, please do so. It is a private group that follows the Love Revolution series, and other beautiful classes that we offer in there. And the teachers will answer your questions pretty immediately. So join us there. Bye.